This is the buttons interaction Premier League app. The app uses Java to handle the button interactions in the backend. Each button triggers logic using click listeners to update the background color or display the team image. The data comes from drawable resource and is validated by linking correct IDs to buttons and images. I use conditional logic to control which image or color appears, and throughout the development, I fixed layout bugs where a button disappeared due to incorrect weights. AI tools help me debug XML skills and improve my UI consistency. The next application is a weight conversion app. This also uses Java to handle the backend logic. The user input is collected from text field and converted into numerical data. Validation is used to ensure the input is not empty and there's a valid number before calculations run. The app applies conversion formulas to switch between units such as kilograms and pounds, with conditional logic controlling which conversion is performed based on user selection. During the development, I fixed bugs related to incorrect input handling and formatting. AI tools were used for online resources to help me debug errors and to improve validation. The following application is the Catalog app, which uses Java to manage the backend logic and to display the stored data for the user. The data for each catalog item is stored using structured variables and resource files such as images and text. User interactions like selecting an item trigger event listeners that load the correct data dynamically. The input validation is used where required to ensure selections are valid and to prevent crashes. Conditional logic controls navigation, filtering, and which catalog details are shown on the screen. During development, I used AI tools when encountering bugs to help with the layout alignment and incorrect data binding, which are resolved through testing and debugging, ultimately improving my code structure. The next application is the login and the registration app, which uses Java to manage the backend logic and for user authentication. User data such as username and password is collected from input fields and stored using local data structures. Validation is applied to check that fields are not empty, passwords meet minimum length requirements, and login credentials match stored data. Conditional logic determines whether a user can register successfully, log in, and receive an error message. During development, I encountered bugs where users could log in with empty fields and where incorrect credentials were not handled properly. I resolved these issues by adding input checks before processing, improving conditional statements to verify stored data accurately, and I also fixed these crashes caused by null values by validating input before accessing variables. AI tool were used to help me debug validation errors and to improve the overall logic flow. The next application is the inventory app, which is designed with both the administrator and the view only user role. The back end of the app uses SQLite to store inventory data locally, with each item saved with an auto incremented ID with the item name, item type, and quantity. This ensures every record is unique and prevents manual ID errors. When an admin adds an item, the app performs input validation by checking the item is not empty and that valid type and quantity values are selected. After validation, the data is inserted into the database and the inventory list updates immediately. Updating items is controlled using the update switch. When enabled,
The admin selects for an item ID, and the app retrieves the current data for the item from the database and loads it into the input fields. Any changes are saved back to the database when the update button is pressed. The delete function removes the recently added item and refreshes the inventory list in real time. The app also includes role-based access control, where admins could use and add, update, and delete items where regular users can only view the inventory. This is enforced by enabling or disabling input fields and button in the back end of the logic. An admin lockup system is implemented to improve security. After three failed login attempts, the admin's account is locked using shared preferences. During the development, I faced challenges with the UI state, the database updates, and intent data passing. These issues were resolved through debugging and testing with AI tools, which were also used as a learning aid to help debug logic errors and to improve the code structure.